Hey everyone, welcome to session number 6 of EDUC 2110. I want to go ahead and give you the welcome video and walk you through some of the assignments and materials to look at. So let's go ahead and get started. So we're going to be looking at school wellness policy, or the overall health and wellness in schools, and why it pertains to you as a future teacher or clinician, because there are certain rules and guidelines that you need to be aware of in schools before getting a job. But not only that, also to be an advocate for schools' health and wellness, because we are seeing such a rise in childhood obesity. So as a teacher, you need to kind of find where your stance is and how can you promote certain things in your school. So let's go ahead and look at the course plan to start out with. Of course, we are all the way down here into session number 6, and ideally you want to be working through this session at least by the end of October through the 1st of November, November 5th, and of course there is a response post and responding to 2 others as well. But as I always mention, you do have until the end of the semester to respond to these posts and to write a post. So nothing closes until December 3rd, but you do not want to wait until then to answer all the information because there is a lot to read. So suggested pacing is due date of November the 5th. All right, so let's go ahead and go back and go through. So looking at our checklist, this again takes you through what you need to actually do. There's no assignments due in this session, papers, just the discussion board. So let's keep clicking. So these are the session 6 activities, and of course you should be making progress on your field experience, and I hope you are getting those 8 hours or 10 hours in. If you have questions, of course, contact me. Let me know if there's anything I can do to help. Of course, reading the session 6 issue and then responding accordingly. Again, just some guidelines down here to you writing your response. So nothing too different than you've done before. Let's look at the issue. So I like this title up here. The nutrition is the good nutrition. And so we're going to be looking again primarily at the health and wellness of a school, not just the classes taught, but the overall climate in a school as well, and how the health actually does impact schools' well-being, schools' academic scores. It's a lot more than just a health class or a physical education class. So the issue primarily is childhood obesity, and some really good information here. Click on this link, and it's a cool website that takes you to how healthy is it where you live. So if you type in Carrollton, Georgia, there we go. Oh, spelled Georgia wrong. That would help, hey? Georgia. All right, let's try. Sorry, I was working over earlier. Georgia. There you go. Oh, it's these Carroll County. So anyway, it takes you to, and it shows you the counties. So Carroll County is right here. We're ranked 49th in the state for overall health outcomes, which is kind of cool. And it talks all about these statistics. And I don't want you to get burned down with these, but to understand how diverse of a climate we live in each of our counties, you know, South Georgia versus North Georgia, and Atlanta inner city versus rural, you know, Heard County or something like that. So anyway, it's just kind of interesting to see. So maybe even where you grew up, it's kind of a new cool website to try. So click on that link. And then again, just more information here that this particular generation of students is not predicted to live as long as its predecessors. So adults today that are having children, the children are expected to die 5 years earlier as a result of obesity, not as a result of, you know, suicide or other health-related conditions, but those that are directly related to obesity, heart disease, stroke, some cancers, all are related to obesity. So there is a major, major issue. Go ahead and watch this young man's story right here that introduces you to the childhood obesity epidemic and what it's like to be a child with that. And then we're going to dive into the actual school wellness policy and what that looks like. Again, probably 90% of the schools that you're going to be teaching in, working in, are going to have a school wellness policy. So it's good to know a little bit more about what that is before you actually get there. Here's the historical background of the school wellness policies. And some more information here. This is like the 101, give you an overview of it. So it's a kind of a good infographic, I think. and then a couple other information here of the school wellness policy. So get you familiar with what that is. And then, of course, the bottom line written here. But the three major components of a school wellness policy can include nutrition, physical activity, and physical education. And so also roped in with physical education is health education, so the actual health class that you take in high school as well. But I've broken those down into three different parts or areas. Excuse me, but before you get there, I wanted you to actually go ahead and Google your school wellness policy. So if you Google school wellness policy, you know, blank county, whatever that is, Catoosa County or Cherokee County, just Google it and see if you can find it online. It is required by law to be posted. And, you know, if you can't find it, that's a problem, but it should be up there. And so you kind of want to see where you came from. It's interesting. Anyway, a couple things, nutritional mandates, challenges for Georgia, click on the link there. A few other good readings, and this is a fantastic video. It is a TED Talk by Jamie Oliver, who, if you know anything about cooking, he is one of those fantastic chefs, and his whole goal is to stop children from eating junk and to kind of end this lifestyle that we have so often been accustomed to. And so really heartwarming story, and he actually does a really cool demonstrations on stage too of how much we're actually eating and things like that. So go ahead and spend the time and watch that video. And then a few other things of really interesting articles about this. I love this one in England, where this particular school is actually inspecting students' lunches before they come to school, and to see if they meet the criteria that's outlined by the school of, you know, healthy snacks and not junk food and things like that. So really interesting and almost controversial new ways that we're dealing with childhood obesity here by actually inspecting school lunches. So have a look at all of these links. Then the second part is physical activity and how what are the mandates in the state of Georgia that are required for physical activity. Why do we need physical activity? Some really good information here. And some general overviews of research of why we need physical activity. I gave you just a couple of blurbs. This is kind of one of my major research areas that I really want everyone to be on fire for, because it is so, so critical. So anyway, a couple of videos. This one, a Texas school is doing something new and different, so go ahead and watch that video. And then the need for physical activity, watch this Fox video too. Anyway, these were some of the mandates and the laws regarding physical activity in schools, so maybe check those out, give you some more idea. Finally, we go into physical education, and this is also health education as well, so not just physical, but the most of the information you're going to find is for physical education. So some mandates and some laws regarding that and what you need to take to and why. Have a look at this cool picture of what your brain looks like before physical activity and during or just slightly after physical activity, and why we learn better as a result of being active. There is research behind it, folks. Physiologically, physically, mentally, emotionally, it's good for you. And again, a couple more neat readings here for you to look at. One in particular with mental health, as all that is going on right now with so many challenges in our world, and how certain massacres and terrorism and things like that are reflected in mental health, and how that is needed in schools as well. And anyway, just some other guidelines here. Sorry, you can tell I'm passionate about this, but this is my research area. And finally, please watch this video. This is Paul Zentarski. He is a former high school teacher in Naperville, Illinois, one of the best or fittest schools in the nation, and it's pretty cool what they do with physical education with their students, the requirements, and just some things I think should take off throughout the entire country. So have a look at that cool video. And then, of course, the prompt is down here, and nothing new, but just go ahead and read through all the material, get some information, Google some stuff if you think, you know, it pertains to this conversation. But I want to get you fired up about what students need to know, do, perform, have the options to eat or not, or, you know, exercise or not in schools. It's kind of a fun discussion. So anyway, let me know if I can help you. That is all the material, and then just a few readings, of course, after that are all hyperlinked at the back. But that's about it that you need to know for physical activity, physical education, school wellness policy. Have a good one. Have a good session, guys. See you later.